Delivery skills of high customer unit price products. I think the first point, the customer unit price of your product determines the high unit price of your product. First, you need to determine your own budget with your boss. You must make it clear that products with high unit price are expensive in this market, because there are high spending groups and many elite consumer groups on Meta. We have also tested it here. But you actually know that a large part of his users are 65+ old men and women. They just like the cheap and easy to sell stuff. So in this case, I think you have to explain the high customer unit price product itself to the boss. It's more in favor of people who need to spend a little bit more. This needs to be tested, not that you can test it when you come up to test it. So you have to give your boss a psychological expectation, and then you go and target one of his product features. To do is to do a classification of an audience or as a filter for an audience. In the early stage, for example, you invested in a product with a high unit price. Suppose you are a $400 electronic door lock. Then you didn't know where the fixed crowd was in the early stage, so there must be interest words running. So your interest words would probably lie somewhere above home or home security. Then you will gradually accumulate some data from your advertising through these words. After some data has accumulated, you make a similar distinction. For example, it is valid for 30 days and valid for viewing, or it is valid for 15 days to add purchase. It would be great if there was a purchase, but I think it was definitely not converted in the early stage. You accumulate this data to a certain amount. For example, it's been clicking and watching for 7 or 8 days. He gets 10,000 or thousands of hits. You can run this as a similar audience. Good advice is to have a psychological expectation with the boss. Then give the boss a psychological expectation when spending money. Then measure the audience. This piece must be analyzed more. Then classify this audience more and do targeted testing. In fact, the most important thing for you is to measure the audience of this high customer unit price group. Then it will be more convenient to test some new models in the future.